I hope you're doing well. In this video I'd like to talk about duty. Our duty as Christians, and I'd like to turn to Luke chapter 16 verses 7 through 10 for our text. Now these are verses that I haven't heard, I don't think, any sermon on in my life. But I think these are good verses and they point out something very, very important. Again, Luke chapter 17, starting in verse 7, Jesus is speaking here. He said, "And which of you, having a servant plowing or tending sheep, would say to him when he's come in from the field, 'Come at once and sit down to eat'? But will he not rather say to him, 'Prepare something for my supper, gird yourself, and serve me till I have eaten and drunk, and afterward you will eat and drink'? Does he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? I think not. So likewise you, when you have done all those things which you were commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants, we have done what was our duty to do.'" As Christians, we have a duty. We have plenty of responsibilities. But for sake of illustration, I'll start off with the bare minimum. Say showing up to church services. People say, "Well, I went to church, I shook the preacher's hand, I told him he did a good job, I sung, I prayed, I did all of these things." And if you look at this from the perspective of saying, "Well, what all can I do?" that, dear friend, is the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum. And of course, we're commanded to do it, and Jesus says you're commanded to do it. You were compelled by someone's orders to do it. They're not going to thank you for doing it. Thanking your servant in the time of Jesus, or even in more recent history, for doing what you told them to do, wasn't something that happened. And Jesus says, "I have commanded you to do something." The application here, I have commanded you to do something. You've done it, but you're still unprofitable. He says there's always work to do. There is always work to do. And that's true. That is absolutely true. As Christians, we can do the bare minimum. We can do this, we can do that. We can plow our fields. We can go into the kitchen. We can cook, going with what this parable says. Of course, not literally. We can do all those things, but dear friend, there's still more to do. There's always more to do. So let us rise up and let us do it.